Hello guys and gals, my name is Soulfax, so welcome to another episode of Mondays with Soulfax. I messed up my name 2 times in a row now. I'm just so out of it. Mondays with Soulfax, not actually on a Monday. So before we start, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Where was I this past year and why didn't I make any videos? Well, the answer to that is very simple. At the root of it lies the fact that I'm inherently a very lazy person, and that is the horrible truth. I enjoy procrastinating and playing video games, and when you add a stable employment to the mix, you get the perfect storm for just being a complete waste of space and time. Because that's what I was for this past couple of, well, almost 10 months while I was employed. I worked at a tobacco shop as a retail worker, and in that time I've gained weight and I've done nothing else. I've gained weight and I bought a couple of things, but most importantly, I have not been making videos, and I have no good excuse for that. Absolutely no good excuse, except that I wasn't motivated enough and I didn't have the energy required to make videos that I want to make, because, well, as probably some of you know that have been watching my videos, I take pride in them, and I like making videos that I consider good and high quality, and I just can't make them like every day. It just doesn't work like that. I need to actually work on those videos, and to work on those videos I need to be motivated and have the sufficient level of energy inside of me. So yeah, now that I've gotten over this very horrible intro, let's talk about video games. So, since I last spoke to you, a couple of things have happened. Firstly, I bought a PS4. Yes, I know, I used to be one of those people who would say like, console peasants and blah blah blah. Every game needs to be on PC. Now I think sort of differently, but I still do kind of agree that a lot of games that are on PS4 would benefit from being on PC for performance sake and for some other reasons. But anyhow, so, since I bought a PS4, naturally, the first game that I bought myself was Blood-Borne, and I played through Blood-Borne almost 2 times now. It's a very difficult game, much more difficult than Dark Souls 3, because you're a lot more limited in your playstyles than you are in Dark Souls, but it's still a very good game. Like, it's a Miyazaki masterpiece if you ask me. It's a worthy successor to Dark Souls 1. It's everything the Dark Souls 2 wasn't. Yeah, I know, I'm full of shit. But anyhow, I love that game, not as much as I love Dark Souls 3 for some strange reason, but I still enjoy playing that game immensely. Anyhow, moving on, I also played through Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Yes, well, you can't really play through a game that is basically a MMO fighter, brawler thingy. It's a strange game. It very much reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series, which was, by the by, the best single game based on an anime or manga in the history of games that are based on anime or manga. It is just a masterpiece of a fighting game. But I didn't play it, the DBZ game that I just mentioned, in, well, at least 6 months. Yeah, I need to play that again. But the game that I've been playing the most on the PS4 has to be MLB The Show 16, because most of you don't know this, but I used to play baseball myself, and I fell in love with the sport, and I really do love that sport, even so much that even today I watch games almost daily, and I play this game, well, daily since I bought it. It's not a great game, it's not very innovative, nor are the graphics great. The gameplay capabilities are okay, but it's baseball, and it gives me the fix that I need not to start playing baseball again. So yeah, moving on. I also played through the single best game of 2017 in my honest opinion, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn. Baby Alloy time, yeah. It's such a great game. If you haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn and you own a PS4 and you were at least somewhat interested in RPGs, you gotta get this game because it's such a fun game. I'm telling you, it might seem stupid at first and strange at first, but it's such a great game. Once you get through the tutorial of Horizon Zero Dawn, the game just becomes such a masterpiece. I'm just so in love with that game. I played through it like 3 times, and I even platinumed it on PS4, which is the only game that I platinumed, and probably the only game that I will ever platinum, because it was so much work, I don't want to repeat that. Anyhow, moving on, I also played through Final Fantasy 15, also on the PS4, and that is, coincidentally, my first Final Fantasy since middle school, since I was like 10 years old, when a friend of mine bought me Final Fantasy 3, I think, for PlayStation 1. And Final Fantasy 15 itself, it's a great game. I actually enjoy the story, despite what some people think, that it's a very standard Final Fantasy story. Yeah, it's my first Final Fantasy. Don't hate me. After that, I also bought a couple of games like FIFA 18, UFC 1, that fighting game on PS4. I also got Uncharted 4, whichever Uncharted was last on PS4, which is actually, it's a very beautiful game, but it's not my style really. And lastly, but not least, I played through God of War, the new God of War for PS4, and that, my friends, is a great game. If you have the funds needed to purchase a copy of God of War and play on your PS4, you should do it. And if you're thinking of buying some other game, let's say, I don't know, Detroit Become Human, instead of buying God of War, well, I have to tell you, you're an idiot. Yeah, that's basically it. The PS4, I don't know what I expect from the PS4, but I think for what it is, it's not a bad console. I mean, my last console was the PS2, so that's 2 generations ago, and when I first plugged in my PS4, I was surprised that you need an account to actually access the PS4 itself. And the only gripes that I have with PS4 is that, firstly, it's out of the 500 gigabytes that I got on it, almost 100 of those 500 gigabytes is used up by the OS, and the OS itself is very bad. I mean, sometimes I can't access the PS Store for some reason, despite having a wired internet connection plugged in to the PS4, so that makes no sense. Also, some games that are on that console really need to be on the PC, like firstly Blood-Borne really would benefit from a port to PC because of just such horrendous frame rates on the PS4 version that moving it over on PC would just be a godsend. But that's never gonna happen because fuck Sony, right? Yeah. Anyhow, that's basically it for the PS4. But then also, another good news is that I upgraded my PC. I bought in collaboration with my brother, we together bought a new GPU, a NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's a great GPU, it works perfectly so far. We also had to buy a new motherboard in the meantime and a new power supply because the last power supply was not... we needed 6 pins to put in the GPU and our power supply only had 4 pins, so we needed to buy a new one, blah blah blah. Anyhow, what did I play on the PC? Well, thank you for asking. I played Rainbow Six Siege again, which is a game that I bought almost like 3 years. Almost 3 years maybe? Yeah, I bought it 3 years ago, played it for maybe 30 hours, never turned it on again, and then my friend, whom I really respect for being such a great genre character, made me play that game again, and it's a fun game. But what I've been playing the most on the PC recently has been Rising Storm 2, which is the sequel to Rising Storm 1, made by Paradox Entertainment, or is... oh, I don't know what they're called, really. I forgot. Anyhow, it's a Vietnam shooter, Vietnam era shooter, and it's very good. You really gotta try it, it's very fun. Also, another game that I played in the past couple of months has been Elite Dangerous. Now, there is a chance that I might show you some Elite Dangerous footage right now, if I remember to. There's also a chance that I might not remember to, so don't take my word for it. Elite Dangerous is a space MMO where you fly spaceships and you shoot at spaceships, and that's basically it. I mean, it's a great game. It's a very fun game if you're into that sort of stuff, and I was into that sort of stuff for long enough to buy 2 copies of that game, one for the PC and one for PS4 and one for PC. And I also bought a joystick alongside a throttle for the same joystick, and now I'm stuck with a throttle and joystick and I'm not playing anything with them. So yeah, they're just collecting dust literally next to me here. But it's a great game still, I would recommend it. Moving on, I also played both the 2 recent Battlefield, that being Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4. Speaking of, Battlefield 5 trailer just got released a couple of days ago, and isn't that a shit show? Yeah, that's a shit show. But let's not talk about that right now. I also, surprisingly enough, played PUBG. Yes, my very enthusiastic brother purchased PUBG, and despite that game being just not a very good game. That's how I would describe it. It is fun in some respects, but most of the time it's not a very good game, coming from both the performance as in the optimization of the game, which is, trust me, absolutely horrendous. Like, I average around 120 frames to 45 frames, and I'm not shitting you, on any single settings. That is my average frame range. But yeah. Down to the fact that the shooting in that game isn't very good, the netcode is absolutely horrible. Yeah. But I still play it occasionally just because sometimes you feel good about yourself and then you play PUBG and then you just want to kill yourself because why are you playing PUBG? I know, right? Moving on. I also decided to actually play through what is probably, not probably, it's actually the second most selling game in history, GTA 5. Yes, GTA 5, and that, my friends, is actually an enjoyable single-player experience. It's nothing too groundbreaking or too entertaining, but it most definitely is incredibly enjoyable. And if you haven't played through GTA 5, like, what are you doing with your life? What? Do it now. And last but not least, I played through Metal Gear Solid 5, which is the last Metal Gear Solid game that is ever going to be made. And no, I'm not counting Metal Gear Survive because fuck yourself, Konami, Kojima for life. So yeah, that's all the games, almost all the games that I've played. I didn't mention some of the games that I really didn't like. I only mentioned games that I actually liked to play. So yeah, other than that, not much has happened in my life in this past year. Like I mentioned, I've gained on some weight and I've started going to the gym. Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot to talk about my next video. So the point of making this video is just to give you guys like a reassurance that I will be making a quote-unquote comeback on YouTube. I won't let this channel rot. No, I'll literally delete the channel itself before I let it rot again. So this video is just a little taste of what I'm planning for this channel. I have the next video, well, it's in production, it is not complete. It's going to be a Dark Souls lore video. I talked about this a year ago when I made my last channel, but now I'm really serious. The script for that video is done. I also had the narration recorded for the video, but because of some problems with my PC, I lost all the data that I had on it, and now that narration is gone, but that's easy enough to re-record. And I can't give you an actual a time frame for when that video is going to be released. What I can tell you is that, I don't know, give me a couple of weeks. Just give me a couple of weeks because it's not like I'm making another Witcher video, which I know how to do and I've gotten some practice in it. Making a Dark Souls video is something completely different, simply because getting footage of the things that I want to get in Dark Souls is basically impossible. I mean, I've already made my peace with the fact that I won't be able to get the footage that I need in Dark Souls, that I'm just going to have to make do with what I can record. So yeah, I think we're gonna end the video here. Expect another Mondays with Soulfax next week. Hopefully, I'm not gonna make any promises, but hopefully I will be able to release that Dark Souls lore video by next week, before the next episode of Mondays with Soulfax. But again, don't take my word for it. Yeah, anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this rambling mess of video. My name has been Soulfax, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.